right, we are finally started. Hi everyone. We're on episode 8, I believe, of this season of Exodus, and it's gonna be a heist episode. I'm really excited for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and definitely nobody's going to probably die. Before we jump into all that, though, I want to let everybody introduce themselves and their characters. Which starting with the top left, which is me again. Keep forgetting I'm in that square. I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things that I do, most of which are tabletop related. My link tree is in chat for all the different various URLs and whatnot. Are you okay, Az?
Disregard me, it's fine.
Okay.
Are you making cheese puns?
Yes, she is, and she's in trouble. She's in trouble.
Cheesy nonsense.
Trouble. She's in trouble.
Yes, did you mean ricotta? Because risotto's not cheese.
Risotto's a type of noodle.
So welcome back to this episode of Animus Absentus.
Basically. That's pretty much where we're at. Anyways, the character that I play is Niklaus Sebastian Adama, which is been shortened down to either Nick or Klaus, depending on which version of the character is present at the moment. He's sort of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type character. Experimented with the weird chemical that's making everybody crazy in Exodus, and ended up with a Mark Hamill's Joker style sort of possession. Sometimes Klaus comes out and it's that, sometimes it's Nick. Either way, both are villains, and they're a lot of fun to play. They're just not the villain, so that's what's going on here. Anyways, that's me and Niklaus. I'll pass it on to Rowan. Tell us a little bit about Pepper Ann and yourself.
Hi, I am in fact Rowan. I'm a freelance illustrator and art educator. I play Pepper Ann McGillicuddy, who is a few fries short of a Happy Meal. She lived a very sheltered life and went a little bananas because of that, and the cane and her powers. So she's a very, very special child. She has 2 doggos. That's very important. And yeah, that's me. I'll put a link to my website in the thing with the chat. Yes, that.
Chat, yeah.
Shut up. I have my paints. I have like 1 more week until pre-orders are over for my new paints, and the colors are beautiful, by the way, very vibrant. So I'm very,
Highly
very excited.
recommend. I am a huge simp for Rowan's paints.
Thank you. Thank you, I guess. Yeah, they're very, very like thick and pigmented, and it's very nice. And I've spent a lot of money getting the highest quality materials. So please save me from myself.
I'm
All
trying.
All right. That's me.
Next, we've got Yaz. Tell us a little bit about Bambi and yourself.
Hey, I'm Yaz Bedalia. I'm a joke. And Bambi is also a joke. No, I'm a visual illustrator and artist. You can follow if you're interested in any of my artwork, I'll post a link here in chat. I have several different projects going on, so I don't have anything specific to pop off. And I play Bambi, who is also very, very crazy, but in a very different way. And we're about to confront her sugar daddy, who happens to be the husband of the crazy psycho woman who runs Exodus. So, yay! And that's it. That's me.
Awesome. Then on that note, V, take it away. Tell us a little bit about you and this world, and good luck wrangling us tonight.
Thank you. I'm gonna need it. Also, your confusion in the chat. I was making a joke. What I was talking about were yaks.
No!
Though
Yaks.
interestingly enough, you can make cheese from yak's milk. Oh god.
Goodness,
Cheese pub.
where do we even start? This has just been chaotic from
Heist episode.
right. How are we gonna step up the chaos? Stay
5
tuned to
minutes.
find out. Yeah. All right. Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am an artist. I do primarily watercolor and pencil sketch, as well as some digital art. And if you'd like to take a look at any of my work, I do have an art Twitter, which is there just below my name card. It's at Pepero Draws. That's Pepero like the candy. If you're a fan of anime, if you like My Hero Academia, or Jujutsu Kaisen, anything like that, I've got some pieces up there now that have been posted recently. From those, if you'd like to take a look, I'm also working on a manga page redraw, so that should be up soon as well. So you can take a look at my work there. But yeah, I play everybody else in this tiny little universe that we have going on here. But most importantly, I play Anastasia Petrova, who is, she's a former nurse. She used to work under the head doctor for the city before everything kind of hit the fan. And she's also the person who sent out the SOS signal that Niklaus and Sydney intercepted and came to investigate. So she's kind of, I guess she's kind of wrangling the group. She's kind of the handler. She doesn't really do much other than that because she has her hands so full with everybody else. So, you know, she adds her 2 cents when necessary, but most of the time is spent with her hands keeping everybody apart so that nobody kills another person. Although we got pretty close with Vixen and that mess of marker on her face. So that was interesting. Last session. Of course you don't. You're too chaotic to regret. Last session, my goodness, where did we end off? We put together this kind of ramshackle plan that did not in the slightest go the direction that I thought it would. And so
did
today
not
we
go
are
well.
ending up, we're ending up at our heist episode. I didn't know that we would have a heist episode given the setting of this campaign, but somehow we got here, so we're gonna have fun doing it. You guys know that according to Vixen, there are some emergency bathysphere systems set up. Obviously, they would have needed a system to evacuate, you know, if that were the case. You do know that most of these systems are shut down, but Vixen has informed you that there are some personal emergency bathyspheres that can be accessed by keycard. If you have certain keycards to get into certain areas of the city, then there are possibly still some of those left over. You guys could check them out, see if that's an appropriate way to get out. Yeah, so we're gonna pick up there where we are now on our way, or going to be on our way towards this little kind of, I wouldn't say hidden, but personal little area that John Castillo has set up. This is the place where he's kind of taken refuge for the past few years, and this is kind of his home turf. So Vixen is going to be taking you guys there. What do you do to prep? What does the prep work look like as you're getting ready for Vixen to lead you out?
Well, I mean, we've got guns and fancy clothes, and a general idea of the layout of the place, I think, from Vixen.
Yes.
That's not a plan.
The only thing that I can think to offer is Bambi doing vocal warm-ups.
I mean,
Okay.
Me.
I'd like to think that as you are doing this, anytime Vixen passes by, she starts harmonizing with your vocal warm-ups. And it's just really overbearing and annoying.
Bambi's cool for like the first few times that it happens, but the longer that it goes on, the more like her me turns into a me.
I'd say as you start to do that, Vixen just says like, "Oh, sweetheart, you should get that checked out. That doesn't sound too good."
And she just like white knuckles her microphone. She's just trying so hard not to totally lose her shit. It's
Vixen
really
seems
not
to be
working so
enjoying
well.
herself.
Of course. That antagonizer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. So Vixen does disappear briefly, back through the back door, into that little section where you can get over to the casino. So she goes back there again. She disappears through the planks in the wall, and she's gone a couple minutes. You don't really hear any sort of noise from next door or banging around or anything like that. But it takes her a couple minutes, and she comes back with a device that kind of looks like it has the shape of a gun, but it's not really a gun. And then she has some ammunition for this gun in her hands. And she comes back and she sets that on top of the bar top.
Abby's gonna be like, I didn't realize we were bringing toy guns with us.
Vixen kind of gives you a little bit of a smile because she thinks that barb was so weak. It's like swatting a fly away that's buzzing too close to your head. And so she just kind of gives you a little smile, and picks up the little handheld thing there, and waves it just in front of your face a little bit before setting it back down. And she says, "No, sweetheart, this is a hack tool. We're going to need it if we want to sneak past the security cameras."
Bambi just rolls her eyes. She's like, I've never needed one before.
Yeah, Vixen kind of mutters under her breath, and it's some vague comment about, of course not, because you're just naturally good at sneaking in places you don't belong.
Abby takes it as a compliment. She's like, of course I'm good at it.
There's
not
just
a
like
compliment. She takes it as one.
There's a little pause, and then you might swear that you heard somebody, who knows who, mutter slut under their breath. But you're not quite sure if that's really what you heard.
I'll take it. Baby's just like, yeah, and.
Vixen doesn't respond to any look or anything that Bambi might give her. She's said her piece. She's done.
You're tearing this family apart. Oh,
Wrong game.
oh.
Just out of curiosity, what stats do you guys have for your hacking? What's your total modifier on those ones? Should be pretty decent, I think.
I've got
For all of us?
Yeah.
I have a 3.
My hack is not. What's hack? Yeah, that's a 3 total.
3 total? Okay, never mind.
No. Pepper's not a hacker. That's like one of the dump stats between that, Taunt, and Tinker.
Anastasia and Sid are a little bit higher than that. What is Niklaus?
Sid better
looking like?
be.
6.
6? All right. Well, you guys, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. I was
We
gonna
don't
up
suck as
This
bad
is not
as-
instilling confidence in me.
No, I was gonna up the difficulty a little bit because I thought I might be going too easy on you, but it's fine. We don't need to do that. We don't have to worry about it.
Clearly, we need the handicap.
Yeah, you'll be okay. It's fine.
Fine.
Yeah. So Vixen puts that on the table, and then the little pieces that she had in her hands look like extra ammunition, kind of for that little hack tool that she put back onto the countertop. Sydney, she from the little bag that she has with her, she takes out her small transistor radio, and she starts tinkering around with it, inspecting different pieces. This thing looks extremely well worn. You guys have seen it before. She's taken it apart, put it back together so many times that she could do it blindfolded with her eyes closed. It's so familiar to her. So she starts tinkering with that, and that's all she's doing.
Okay.
I guess Pepper, we can probably do a little bit of the her adding upgrades to her gun that we were talking about last time. Maybe this is the time to kind of prepare that. Because I can't imagine that during the one where, hey, look at this tinker room, that she got it all done, considering it's a tier 2 upgrade.
Yeah, she can take some time and kind of fiddle around with that and figure out if there are any different pieces that are missing. There might be something available to you in the back room. Any little pieces or knickknacks or parts that you might have stuffed into your own belongings, those can be used to replace any parts that you need. You find that, luckily enough, you have what you think might fix the problem as you kind of look through the mechanisms, cleaning everything, and eventually you get it figured out. You get your gun back in working order. You assume.
Well, you know what happens when you assume? Make an ass of you and me. Oh.
Well, you're not wrong. Just don't fuck up.
But yeah, so she is working, but that means like she's not immediately there in that room.
Yeah. Oh, excuse
Which
me.
for some of you might be like a pleasant relief, like, oh, she's gone.
How you feeling about
Probably.
that, Niklaus? Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably like, finally some peace and quiet.
We got that. Who else do we have? I think the only other person who's really kind of sticking around in the main room is Anastasia. She looks like she meant it when she said that she wasn't coming. So Vixen is preparing to leave. She's going to lead you guys out, but Anastasia is planning to stay here and kind of hold down the fort, as it were. She looks like she has a bit of a storm-clad for an expression, but she doesn't offer up any explanation as to why. She just looks like she's pretty decisively made that choice. So yeah.
Hey, more power to her. I mean, I guess as they're getting ready to actually go, that's when Pepper's probably going to talk to her a little bit.
Yeah. So just as a refresher, we have Klaus or Nick, Sid, and Pepper stealthing into the
Yes.
establishment, and then we have Vixen, Bambi, and the dogs as the distraction.
Yep. That sounds right.
I don't think that's missing anybody. Anastasia is staying, so she's not going to be there. Yeah, looks good to me. All right. So yeah, as the group kind of comes together, Pepper, you figured out whatever repairs that your gun needs. You come back out from the background of the casino there. You kind of have to like dip your head and step through the planks because there are still some on the wall. But yeah, you guys are getting ready to go. Did you want to talk to Anastasia before you left, or?
Yeah. Let's do
Okay.
that.
All right. Yep.
So she goes up and she says, just kind of timidly, because it's obvious that she's not coming. It's like, I don't know why you hate those people, but I just want you to know that it's okay.
Anastasia kind of gives her a small smile at that. Because it's just, I don't know, it reminds her a little bit of going to see Pepper when she was younger, and trying to cultivate a little bit of that relationship the few times that she'd been there to see her grandfather, and like, it calls back that sort of thing, and she smiles and nods her head once.
Yeah, and she's like, just I guess we'll see you when we're back. You're not going anywhere, right?
No, I'm going to be staying here. So yes,
Oh, okay.
I will see you when he gets back.
Okay. She looks a little relieved at that. Like, for some reason she thought like maybe she'd leave.
No, it's very clear in the way she's speaking to you and the expression that she's given to you that she's telling the truth. She is going to stay here. She plans on being here when you all get back. She's not going to go anywhere. All right. So,
Nick is indifferent about this information.
Of course, Nick's indifferent about anything that doesn't directly affect him. All right. So after that, Vixen kind of rounds up the group. She's got her shotgun with her. Do any of you want to take the hacking tool and the ammo, or will you let Vixen handle that?
I'm inclined to let Vixen handle that.
She doesn't offer it to Bambi, don't worry.
That's good.
Oh.
That's good.
Oh, the ammo's for the hacking gun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
She does look to you, Nick, because you are going to be on the stealth team. And she holds it out to you to see if you're going to take it.
I think Nick will take it and hand it to Sid. She's like, here, you know how to use these things, right?
Sid just kind of takes it from you and looks it over and like turns it around in her hands, and she doesn't answer. She just kind of gives a vague nod and takes the ammo and shoves it in her pocket while she's inspecting the tool itself.
All right.
But yeah, so once Sid has that put away, Vixen leads you out the front door of the lounge. She goes up to the door and she unhooks the latch from the metal grating, and she opens the door and steps to the side to allow you, Nick, and Sid and Pepper to leave ahead of her.
So, yeah, the dogs are going with. Are they staying with Anastasia, or wait? Are they going with?
You said that they were going to be a distraction, I believe, with Vixen and Bambi. Whose bright idea was it to put Vixen and Bambi on the same team?
No, the plan was for them to actually go and talk to.
It was unfortunately Bambi's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Pepper said.
So the dogs really is like leave them waiting just in case things go awry, and then Pepper has eyes there, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dogs are like an extra camera.
Essentially,
Legitimately,
yeah. All right, yeah. So yeah, the dogs then would be coming as well.
So as they're leaving, Bambi is kind of like singing under her breath, and I have been waiting all freaking season for this song to be applicable. But she's very quietly singing the song Johnny Got a Boom Boom by Imelda May under her breath. And
No,
I'm gonna post that link in chat there.
We had to wait for the Johnny episode, didn't we?
I did. I've kept that song in my pocket for freaking months.
That's amazing.
Love that. I'll have to put it on in the background so we can have some nice. I can have some nice mood music. In my
Mood
music.
Your freaking butt off.
Spotify is trying to open. We'll see. Okay, so Bambi is humming under her breath. This time, Vixen does not harmonize with you. She leaves you alone for now. She thinks that maybe you deserve a rest from the hard work of being a victim.
Bambi is the most victim ever. She is the saddest babe. Nothing ever works out in her favor. She is everybody's like butt of a joke. It's okay, Bambi. It's okay.
What do you mean? We all love Bambi.
We're
We're not laughing at her. We're laughing with her.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm being real honest. I'm also laughing at Bambi. All right.
Oh,
That's all I
goodness.
got.
Okay. So in that case, Vixen waits for Anastasia to come lock the latch on the grating before she starts leading you guys away, making sure that her lounge is nice and boarded up before they go. Because, naturally she's spent all of her time in here hiding away. She doesn't want to come back to see the place ransacked. It's going to take ages to get Anastasia's blood out of the carpet. She doesn't want to have to deal with that, So she waits until the door is nice and locked up, and then begins to lead you guys away. And if you look at the map that's there in roll 20, on the right-hand side of the map, we're currently at number 7, which is the entertainment district. And if you follow that dotted line down to number 8, that is where we are going. So that's kind of like this little setup that Vixen has told you John Castillo has set up for himself, where he kind of holds up for the most part. So it's going to take you a little bit of walking to get there, but not overall too bad. I would say that the entertainment district is in one building. You guys would have to take one of those little connecting walkways between buildings to get to the next one. And I would say it looks a little farther on the map, but that's fine. We'll say it's not too far. Probably a building or two to the side, and you of course see much of the same sort of decoration and theme that you've seen throughout the city itself, that Art Deco kind of feel to it. It seems, however, that once you get closer to where Vixen is leading you guys, this starts to look a lot more well kept. As Vixen kind of told you, like, this is where John spends a lot of his time. It looks like it. It looks like it's being lived in. It's a lot cleaner. There's a very easily detectable distinction from this section is uninhabited to this section is inhabited. It looks, it's not clean or anything. It's still part of a sunken city. But I don't know, there's just a vibe to it, a feel to it. You can see that there's not as much debris on the ground, for one. There's not as much foliage, kind of like overgrown gardens and things like that, the way, for example, like the atrium or even the bottom floor of the entertainment district. The stuff it's pruned, it's nice. It seems like somebody's making an effort. If you picture maybe like the Blackwoods in like little aprons, kind of using shears to just prune the nice foliage. It's just a little bit nicer. And Vixen is quiet. She's stepping carefully. You can see that she's keeping her eye on things. She's not engaging so much with this banter between her and Bambi. And she's focusing. She has her shotgun with her. It's poised and ready should she need it. And she's not really offering much in the way of conversation or anything like that. Do you guys talk on the way there, or do you keep sort of quiet and alert for anybody?
Other than Bambi singing to herself, she would keep fairly quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, Nick's not starting any conversations.
You don't have Anastasia to send you any dirty looks either.
Yep, I think Pepper's gonna be pretty quiet as well. Not keeping kind of close to her dogs because she knows that she's gonna be without her dogs. Well, not fully without, as long as they're still in her range. She's not gonna be as fidgety as she was back in the Garden District, but still, like she's just keeping close to them, like kind of basking in their comfort a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And then Sid as well is kind of keeping to herself. She's not inspecting the hack tool as much as she was. The novelty of it has kind of worn off a little bit, but she does still clutch it in one of her hands. Like the little darts that are in her pocket are still there. She hasn't misplaced them or anything. Don't worry, she still got everything in order. She still kind of looks at the tool every now and then when you guys slow down and she has a minute to inspect it. But for the most part, the novelty has worn off now. So, so Vixen continues to kind of weave through these hallways until you get to the final walkway, the little kind of encased walkway between buildings. She brings you through it. You go through a door that opens up into the building once again. And the first thing that you see when you make your way into this building are some little fountains that are set up. There's one to the left and one to the right. And they're still functioning, funnily enough. Like they're still in working order, which is something that you've not seen particularly from like the entertainment district or anything like that, which also did have a large fountain in the middle, but it wasn't functioning. But these seem to be at least some sort of in working order. Still a little bit dirty. They're not like scrubbed crystal clean or anything like that, but they do work. So the water is kind of cascading down. I imagine there's something like so like just overdone, like little tiny cherubs like pissing water or something like that. It's just gaudy, like whatever. But yeah, it's nice to see something in working order for once though, so that's interesting. You've also got along the back walls some more like trellises, some foliage working its way up the wall. I would say there's probably like a similar feel here to the entertainment district with like the pillars, kind of like those ionic shaped pillars in the back, stretching up to the ceiling and supporting the ceiling in the corners of the room. It's a relatively open space aside from those fountains and things like that, but much smaller, much more compact than the large entrance of the entertainment district. And you see on the sides of the rooms, there are a couple of doors. My dog is asleep and she's dreaming and she's yelping in her dream. Hold on, let me go wake her up. You see on the two side walls that there are some doors. You don't particularly see anything through them at this moment in time. But they look to be fully intact. The pillars are not blocking them off or anything. And then at the other end of the room, you see one larger door, kind of like a little hallway kind of arching door. And in front of it is a camera that slowly swings back and forth and casts a red light onto the floor as it moves back and forth. But as of right now, it is quiet.
I assume that Bambi recognizes these cameras, even if she chooses not to usually deal with them.
Yeah, absolutely. This place, I would say, looks familiar to you. You know this place.
So Bambi's gonna be like kind of fall back and tug on Sid's like sleeve or shoulder and point and be like, "Hey, you should do that thing."
Sid looks at you, and kind of like her eyebrows furrow together a little bit. She's expecting more explanation than the thing.
Well, you see the machine that Vixen brought us? It's you aim it and point it, and it gives you the opportunity to hack into that. Like, so right now, that camera is going to alert, the people on the other side of the door that we're here, and we don't want them to know that we're here yet. Right?
Sid gives you one slow, definitive nod, and tries to fish some of the darts out of her pocket, so that she can get them slotted into the tool.
Cool. Bambi's like, I don't know how to do it. You seem adept at this. Do the thing.
Yeah, while you're talking to Sid about this, Vixen takes stock of her surroundings. It seems like, she's at least a little familiar with this place. She knows what the layout is like. And she turns to the group and motions for Nick, Sid, and Pepper to kind of group up. And she says, you can use the fountains and the benches and things like that for cover. You might want to get into place now, just in case, this is the main lobby, the main area of this building that Johnny has. So if we're going to meet anyone, there's a high chance that it will be here. So you guys can set up and hide if you would like to, and take care of the cameras from there.
Nick's just gonna give a nod and go find the most suitable hiding spot to stay out of view of the camera and the door.
So the camera is, there's like a fixture at the top of this little hallway, like just a small little hallway at the other side of the room. So it's just above the archway, and it's doing a semicircle, doing a sweep across and back again. So it has a decent range. You can see where kind of like the red light touches the floor. So you can assume that is kind of the range that it will detect. And that way you can visibly see where it's pointing at any given time. So the reach is decent, but you should be able to find a spot that's relatively close to it, down by the back pillars. There's probably the fountains are closer to the entrance where you came in, so those wouldn't be suitable. But yeah, there's, I don't know, like maybe some benches, and I imagine on either side of the pillars there are like these tall shrubs that almost kind of give the illusion of like a maze if you were to walk through them. Like they're very, very tall and they almost reach to the top of the ceiling. So you could probably do something like that if you'd like to.
Yeah. I think that's where Nick will head over.
The dog is crying again. Wake up, dog. Wake up, Winnie. Come on. She's like half falling off the couch and whimpering in her sleep.
Oh.
Oh my. She's silly. Okay. Yeah, so you guys can go ahead and set up there. Like I said, there's nobody here yet. There's no particular sounds that are coming from the hallway either.
Yeah, as the rest of the group, I guess, leaves as they're setting up, and Pepper's just kind of sitting there. Yeah, she's pretty quiet, which is, I mean, different from normal. She has opened up a lot around you guys, but it's a bit more reminiscent to what she was like in the garden.
So yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
Bambi. No, I was just gonna say Bambi and Vixen are the two that are left kind of at that entranceway. Vixen moves a little bit in towards the fountains, and just kind of like moseys around like she's the most comfortable she's ever been. Like she's supposed to be here. Really kind of makes it look like she has no qualms about being here.
Bambi is trying to be the same, but she's definitely a lot more skittish. And she's more or less humming to herself just to keep herself, okay. So she's just has like an ongoing soundtrack in her head to keep herself focused.
Bambi is exactly the way I am when I'm home alone and I'm afraid of ghosts.
Oh, me too.
Because you rarely ever see ghosts fuck with someone who's singing if they're home alone. So my thought process is that if I sing while I'm going up the stairs, then nothing can push me back down them.
Oh.
I feel like that's the way Bambi is. She's just like, if I can sing, then there's nothing wrong.
Nothing can fuck with me.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so Sid moves forward with you, Nick, and Pepper, and she manages to slot one of the darts into the tool there, and I'm going to make some rolls for Sid. Yeah, it's probably a good idea to let Sid do this anyway, because she has a higher hacking number than you guys do.
Mhm.
So that's lovely. All right. So I picked a very specific, quote unquote, game to play with this hacking tool. So let's see. All right. Okay. Okay, so Sid, hold on. Yeah, Sid aims the hacking tool at the camera, which is slowly making its way back and forth. Able to aim the dart at close range like this, hit the camera immediately. She's got no problem. And then she starts tinkering with the little dials that are on top of the hacking tool. And she's not seen anything like this before, but with her kind of general knowledge of how things go together, how electronics work, things that maybe she's tinkered with back at, Niklas's lab, things like that, she kind of gets the understanding pretty quickly. She's able to pick up what she needs to do relatively easily. She's familiar with maybe components of this device before that she's seen in other things. Maybe not exactly in this configuration, but she's got an idea. And she's able to arrange the dials in such a way that as she's turning the final dial, suddenly the camera light clicks from red to green. It still continues its path back and forth, but now the light is green. She kind of looks up from the tool And she doesn't give like a little smirk or anything like that, but you can kind of feel a little bit of smugness rolling off of her as she looks at that green light. And then she looks to you, Nick.
Nick just gives her a thumbs up.
She lowers the tool again, and then preemptively slots another dart into it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's like a thumbs up and like a approving nod sort of a thing.
Awesome. So Vixen watching Sid kind of play around with this device, looks down the little hallway just past the green light, and let me see. Yeah, so as she focuses down that little hallway, I got confused for a second because I was rolling stuff for Sid, and then it came up blue for me again, and I was like, am I rolling the right stats? But yes, I'm dumb. It's fine. She looks down the little hallway and she can't see anything, but she hears the rattling of some glasses, like the clinking of some glasses. But that's about it. If you guys would like to roll awareness, because I know some of you are closer to the door, then you can certainly do so to see if you hear anything else. But that's all that Vixen hears is some glasses clinking together.
No, the pupperinos are with them, right? Or
Yes.
are they
Yeah.
back?
So the dogs are closer to the entrance.
It's 15 for Bambi. I'm just reading it
Yeah.
off because the window thing isn't working on the stream for some reason.
Okay. So for the dogs, it's a 16 plus. I guess it would be the same as Pepper's awareness, right?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh. Great.
I'm not sure if that was for Nick and Sid as well, but I got a 21 if I hear anything from where I'm at.
23 from the puppers.
23. Sorry, Raven. What did you say for Nick?
21.
21. I keep forgetting that I'm in charge of Sid now. Hold on. Okay. Sid is too focused on putting another dart into this hack tool to really hear much of anything else. And then what about Pepper?
Pepper herself?
Yeah.
She got 21 as well.
21? Okay, so unfortunately,
Oh, big Pepper.
Sid is the only one who doesn't really hear anything as she's got her nose buried in this hack tool and loading up another dart. It takes her a minute. But you guys hear that clinking, the glass clinking together. You hear some shuffling closer. This is for those of you who are closer to the door. You can hear a little bit better. So that the glass clinking, a little bit of shuffling, and then the cocking of a gun. Bambi, you don't hear any. You don't hear any of it.
So the dogs immediately are kind of on guard, like they lower themselves and start growling.
Mhm.
Like to warn, like something is wrong.
Vixen instinctively kind of holds her shotgun tighter with one hand, but she puts a hand out to motion to the dogs, kind of absently, like she's not looking in their direction or anything. It's just kind of like a shush, no kind of motion.
Yeah, they still like are kind of like keep to the ground, like they're ready for anything, but their ears perk forward at her a little, and they do quiet up a little.
Yeah. Bambi, you don't hear the gun cocking or anything like that. You might hear like footsteps shuffling, but you can definitely see the dog's reaction. They're looking towards the hallway down at the end there. What is your reaction?
Bambi has kind of come to trust the dogs, so she more or less prepares for whatever the dogs are alerting to by like wrapping like the cord of her microphone around one fist and gripping the other, and taking a little bit more of like a ready to spring attack.
Okay. What's Bambi's favorite song?
Bambi's favorite song? Shoot. Probably Big Bad Handsome Man by Imelda May.
All right, so you hear the tune of that song being whistled from the other end of that hallway as the footsteps shuffle closer. And it's a very clear, loud sound, a very clear whistling, strong lungs, perfectly on tune. And it's just the melody of this song that Bambi loves.
Would she recognize it at all, or is this like she wouldn't recognize the tone or the sound of the whistle or anything like that?
Would you know the whistle off by heart? You can roll for me. See if you clue into it.
What would I roll?
Let's get you to do maybe intuition. I
Okay.
feel like that's probably the closest.
27.
You know the sound of this whistle, how loud and clear it is, crystal clear as it floats down the little hallway and into this bigger room and fills the room, reaches you very easily. And you know this to be one of the Blackwood brothers. You know that this is Samson. Samson is whistling a song for you.
Oh, Samson is Bambi's. Like, if Bambi had to choose between the two, Samson's definitely her boy.
So
because
as
Samson
that-
doesn't terrify her as much as his brother does.
Yeah, I can see how that would be the case. As you kind of have that recognition, the moment of like, oh, I know who this is. In the background, you can hear a laugh accompanying it. So
No!
it's the second voice that laughs from behind, and it's much quieter. Like, it's not as fully ringing out as the whistle is. That one is clearly meant to be heard, but there's just a soft laugh from behind this whistle. Yeah.
Bambi's last experience with them was a little bit uneasy, and it sort of shows for a minute, but Bambi's so excited to see somebody else that she knows that she's able to quickly put it behind her, and she sings along with the tune. Like at first very quietly, and then she kind of gets into it, and she's got that lower register smoky blues voice, and she can do like the rolls and everything, like the vocal, like, I don't know what you would call it, but
Like vocal runs.
it's like where when you sing like, shoot, I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot for this, but so as she, like, towards the end of the song, she does like Big Bad Handsome Man, and then repeats it. Big Bad Handsome Man, that one where it kind of does like the
Yeah. I know what you mean. I don't know the word for that, but I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. I do make many vocal fries, but I don't think it's a vocal fry. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the whistling continues all the way through so that you can sing along with it. there don't seem to be any footsteps closer. Now, you guys hanging closer to the door from where Sid just shot the gun, the dart tool. What are you guys doing as you hear the whistling and then Bambi start to sing? Because, you know, this is your distraction girl. She's doing her job. She's doing her part. What are you guys doing?
I mean, so far so good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pepper, I guess, looks at Niklaus and Sid. It's like, okay, you're the guys taking the lead here. I'm just with you.
Yeah, Nick's looking for like a window or something that they can potentially sneak into.
Vents.
No, that would be too sus.
I hate you.
Who are you, Daisy? What the fuck? There are no windows. The only things that you see are like portholes to the outside. Like it's not connecting the rooms or anything like that.
Okay. So this is what I think. I think is when Pepper picks up on what Niklaus is doing. Like, oh, you're looking for a way in. Then she's not bright, okay?
I feel like Nick would immediately be like, no, I'm admiring the architecture. Of course I'm looking for a way in.
But she's not saying this out loud because they're being sneaky. It'd be really stupid
Oh,
if she
okay.
did. But yes.
I mean, given Pepper's track record of being quiet in dangerous situations or not being.
She promised that she actually knows how to be survival. And guess what? She is with one of the people she hates the most. So she's actually going to keep good on it.
Yeah,
Because she's
Pepper
actually
and
there's
Bambi
other
overcoming this shit.
yeah there is other people there. You know, if I'd say Anastasia is here and she'd be more comfortable with the situation, then she would probably talk more. But in this case, like, no, she kind of knows what she's doing when it comes to sneaking around and survival. So, but once she realizes what you're doing, then she starts looking for vents, because I imagine that she has used like ventilation shafts and airflow type situations, maybe even sewer, wherever the waste goes, kind of to sneak around and keep safe. So so she's going to look at that. Can I roll for that?
Yeah, absolutely. That would probably be awareness, because you're specifically looking for them.
21.
21. Sorry, just give me 1 second.
No worries.
Sorry. It was both my mother and the puppy's bedtime, so I had to say goodnight. So you said a 21?
Yes.
I'm just looking at the layout now of my little drawing of this area. I would say, sure. There are probably some vents higher up on the walls. They're not proper like ventilation shafts kind of deal. They're a little bit more ornate. And Pepper, you know from the past, despite probably not having ventured too far into the city itself, especially in recent years. But you know that these vents are sometimes used by little girls like Maggie, like Anastasia's Maggie. Sometimes they would come in and out of them.
Yeah, she probably learned from them, to be honest.
Yeah. So they're not ventilation vents, but they're like, you know, these girls come in and out of them. You've seen it happen before. You've seen the big guardians kind of banging on them. in order to get the girls to come out of them and help them down and go on their way. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, she reaches out, tugs on Niklaus's sleeve, and then points at it.
Nick looks annoyed at the touch on the sleeve, but then realizes what Pepper's doing and nods. Makes some sort of hand gesture to Sid that I imagine they've used before for situations.
Yeah, like 12
such
o'clock
as
or
this.
have conversations across the room during a big party or something.
Mhm.
Yeah. And about how high up is the vent?
Excuse me. Let's see. There's kind of like a little step at the very base of it, and then the vent is higher up on the wall. So it's probably, I would say, maybe about 5.5 feet or so off the ground.
Okay. And is this a vent that Nick would be able to fit into?
Mm. How large of a fella is Nick?
Not super large, more tall than anything, kind of tall and lanky a little bit.
You know what? Just because I think it would be funny. Sure. The opening seems to be, it could work depending on what you've had to eat lately. If you're feeling bloated or not.
Why does this feel like a you could certainly try moment?
Because, dearest Raven, you can certainly try.
Good luck.
I'm not gonna say no to you. You can try.
I think, seeing that it's iffy, Nick will motion for Sid to go that route. And then Nick's gonna go try the other side of the house because I refuse to believe that this fancy setup here does not have any windows.
Back. Sorry.
And if it doesn't, and they actually do end up talking to them, Nick's going to not let them live down the fact that, they don't have windows.
They're in an
the-
underwater city. There's not a lot
Yeah.
that can be done about that.
It's not so much a house as it is it's a building that they kind of repurposed to do with what they wanted to do with. So it's
Oh, okay.
it's still kind of got that feeling of like the entertainment district kind of vibe to it.
I had the impression that this was like, like the fancy kind of house that you see rich people having parties at and things like that, and that was like their little getaway, given who they are and who they work for. Okay. And the outside too. Okay. Still doesn't change it though. He's still gonna keep looking for windows or other entrances.
Every time you guys ask questions, I have to draw something different on my little map. I'm like, I wouldn't have thought you would try to go through the walls, but I guess.
How about the paint? Does it look lead-based?
For the time of this, yes, probably.
And the walls were stained with asbestos.
Yeah, I will say there's probably no windows. Yeah, you kind of take a look around. It's just mostly you can
The
see
back
to the
door?
outside.
Any other entrance than the front door? I feel like this is breaking some fire codes here.
Raven,
Maybe.
it's an underwater city. Where are they gonna go if there's a fire?
I feel like it would be a really
Paradise.
terrible secret
Nice.
hideout if there wasn't, if there was, multiple exits. Then just anybody could walk in.
But you gotta have, like, what exit? If, you know, your rivals start busting through the front door, you gotta have a way to get out. I mean,
That's true, I guess.
that's just underwater organized crime 101.
I mean, that's valid, but perhaps you should also take into account that perhaps the other exit is on a different floor. If your
All right.
rivals come busting down the front door, you're not going to try and get out the front door.
That's what I'm saying. You get a back door, maybe like a cellar or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, if after looking around the building that literally the only entrance is the front door, Nick is probably going to say some smart quip about how they don't have another entrance.
Words.
And yeah.
Funny words.
Pithy comments.
Use your words, funny man.
And then yeah, I guess we'll try the vet because the front door is really not an option.
Pepper looks pleased with herself because it's like, see, I know what I'm doing. You thought I wasn't gonna be good at this, and I'm good at this. But she doesn't say anything, obviously. She just looks a little smug.
Nick just rolls his eyes at and hands her his fancy new, quote unquote new, white coat. Says, "Here, hold this. Let's see if I can fit in this vent."
Pepper takes it, holds it, looks at it, then looks at Sid, then looks at it like, wait, isn't this Sid's job to carry your shit?
Also
Valid,
keeping
it's
in
valid.
mind that like this, it's not a closed door. So there's like the camera above that's doing its rounds back and forth. And then it's almost like there's an open archway. So the camera's stationed at the top of the open archway. And then there's a little hallway down past that. So there's no real door. Also keeping in mind that with like the pillars and the shrubbery around the edges, you can just hang tight if you want to. You don't have to go. We can certainly try and push you through the vents if you would like to, but you don't really have to do it if you don't want to.
Well, how else are we gonna get into the building to steal the thing?
We're seeing
Patience, young grasshopper. Patience.
well, we
is
are
what you need.
seeing well, we are seeing if they're able to just do it themselves, right? That is true. But
Well, yeah,
being
but
prepared.
this is Niklas. He's not gonna rely on somebody else to get the job done.
Very true. He is an impatient prick.
He is. He's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, he trusts
alright,
Sid to get the
so
job done, and that's about it.
Are you letting Sid go first, or are you trying
Yeah.
to cram yourself into the vent?
No, letting Sid go first because she's more likely to fit.
Okay. I guess the question is, are we going for stealth here, or are we going for skillfulness? Because it's probably more got to do with her ability to squeeze herself into a vent. So I'm gonna go with skillfulness. Let's try that. Okay.
don't know why,
Yeah,
but
Sid's got an okay skillfulness.
I don't know why, but I just imagine playing this as like one of those really old computer games, and I'm just like, use bloody bag of kumquats on vent.
Beats
And then-
with bloody bag of kumquats.
Yep.
Comes back
don't
invalid.
recognize, yeah.
Yeah,
Don't recognize command bloody
command.
kumquats. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said with Dex Gaming, exactly, Michael.
So Sid got a 20. Yeah, she stands on the little step at the bottom of the vent system, and kind of puts her hands up to the top, pulls herself up, and then does a little jumping motion. You can hear her go, hup, and pulls herself up into it and scoots her body through the small opening. it seems like she does it with enough ease. I'm going to, however, make a secondary roll.
She gets kidnapped by
14?
fairies and is taken to fairyland and you never see her again. Oh.
Wrong game.
That's
Robin.
wrong storyline.
Oh.
So with a 14, she is able to pull herself into the vent opening. However, on the way in, she accidentally knocks her knee into the side of the vent, and you hear like a banging noise as she pulls her legs inside. And then once she's in there, she stays very still, so that, you know, like as if listening to make sure that nothing, no attention has been drawn her way. You guys can hear the whistling still from the inside. It's very quiet now, and another little chuckle, but it doesn't seem as if anybody is coming out guns blazing.
All right.
Whew.
Amy's like, let's go see the Blackwoods. Player is like, oh god, it's a trap.
Accurate. Accurate.
From the other side, so Vixen hasn't moved any closer. She's kind of glancing over to you guys, trying to cram yourselves in events. And just like her eyes keep darting over to see where your progress is. But she remains closer to the back main entrance where you came in, over by one of the fountains. She like sits down on the edge of the fountain, crosses her legs at the ankles, you know, makes it look like she's completely used to being here. And as the whistling kind of fades down again, she casts another glance over to the vent. Now, are you guys one by one trying to get in there?
I would say so.
Yeah? Okay. So then, who's going next? Nick or Pepper?
I think Nick's gonna try next.
That's what I was thinking. It's like Nick wouldn't wait for Pepper. No.
Yeah, no.
Sid's already gotten in there, so Nick's like, all right, move, fuckers, my turn. Yes. Roll skillful. Was that what I rolled for Sid? Skillfulness and then stealth.
Skillfulness and then stealth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Skillfulness. How do y'all feel about that crit that we have?
Yes, please. Dear God.
Okay.
Don't fail us this early. Don't fail us this early.
That was a nat one.
No.
I'm gonna use that crit that we've got.
Okay.
Still. And then stealth, right?
Yeah, with the crit, I won't get you to roll stealth. That's fine.
Okay.
So with the crit, you kind of look the vent up and down a little bit as you're getting ready to try and pull yourself into it. And it just doesn't look like it's going to fit your body. It looks like it was designed for children, the way it was intended. Of course, you don't know that. You've never seen the children come in and out of the vents, but there's just this nagging feeling that the vent is very small. But then you step up on the bottom step, you put your hands into the opening, and pull yourself up, and you're able to fit one shoulder in, the other shoulder in, you shimmy in, and you think you're about to get stuck, but you must have butter on your clothes because you slide right in. You can't believe it. It's fantastic. Couldn't have gone better than expected.
It's because Niklas is so slick.
I'm going to die. This is how I die. Right here, right now. I'm dead.
Also,
Death.
Also, Nick's like, this is great. Players just like, oh god, I would be so claustrophobic. I would hate this so much.
Yep.
Nick's
That's
having a ball,
big
though.
mood. Love that for him because I would be scared shitless.
Same.
Yeah, so you're able to do so, and because it's gone so well, you are able to do so quietly. It doesn't seem like you have any mishaps. You don't accidentally bang your knees off anything like Sid. And
Yeah, Sid. God.
God. She's moved in further down through the vent system, and you're able to join her.
Okay.
Pepper, you can go ahead and skillfulness and stealth for me.
Okay, skillfulness.
As you do that, you can hear, because you're closest to the door now, you can hear the scraping of a chair, the sound of a glass being set down on a table, and some footsteps.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we have an advantage?
Bambi has an advantage. Currently, we have an asset that we've decided is going to be our getaway advantage, or not advantage, getaway asset. So when we get into a bad situation, we can escape.
The cast
aside
does
from
have
that-
extra d6s.
Yeah, as I say, aside from
Yes.
that, we have 11 d6s that we can use.
Use that d6.
So what I'm hearing is I'm not hard enough on you guys.
No.
That's what I'm getting. How as a GM, how could I have possibly allowed you guys to amass 11 d6? So we're gonna have to start putting them to use. I
No,
think.
listen. I'm going to roll an advantage with those subs, if that's okay with the people I just gave subs to.
Yeah.
If you guys are okay with that.
Thank you.
Because that was a nat 1 as well.
Oh.
And I just gave Raven shit about don't fail us this early in the mission, and then I rolled a 1 and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh,
my
no.
Who's failing the
Uh,
mission now?
Shut the fuck up. Anyways.
I feel like Pepper's gonna die in this vent.
I feel like we need to let Depresso Espresso decide who gets the
Side. No, no, please.
Unless the Simpleton review is also here, and then either of you. But I know
Decide,
Depresso
please.
was talking in chat.
Yeah, Depresso Espresso, please. Ooh. Oh no, please don't fuck us over. Please, I beg of you. I beg of you.
Depresso
Espresso. You are the only
Choose
hope.
wisely.
Maybe Depresso Espresso, you're my only hope. No, Michael! No, Michael!
Calm
No!
down.
Help me. Don't do it. Help
Michael,
us out. Please.
You're welcome. Please, just tell us. Do I get that advantage?
Give her the advantage. Give her the advantage. We're all like waiting with bated breath.
We've
over
got
this.
so much invested in this vent trip here.
Ah! I mean,
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I think that's
Okay.
a yes.
I think that's his.
Okay.
That's your
I don't
chance.
know.
Oh, all right.
Just Depresso Espresso. What do you think? Should we take a break now? Should we take our 15?
No!
I think, you know what? Depresso Espresso, you take your 15 minutes. Decide what you would like to do. You have 15 minutes. We're going to take a short break.
No!
No, it's fine. It's fine. You can have 15 minutes to decide. Don't you worry. We're going to take a break.
They said they'll be nice. Oh, thank you, Michael.
Yeah, that $10 is a disadvantage.
Oh,
No! Are you fucking kidding me? Do I just get a disadvantage? Is this what you're doing to me?
Oh, goodness.
All right. I tell you
So-
what, let's take our 15. Let's get some water, get some snacks, bio if you have to, figure this absolute mess out, and then we'll be back to figure out what Pepper does in this event.
Oh my god! Okay, so
Yep.
if this is how it's gonna go, I'm just saying before we go on break. I rolled a 19 for advantage, and then I
Okay.
rolled a 1 again for disadvantage. So
Impressive.
All right, so we're gonna take a 15-minute break, go stretch your legs, grab snacks, contemplate the existential crisis that we're all in now, and then we'll be right back to find out what happens with the new Nat one. Be right back.
no.
All right, we're back. So there were some things that happened over the break, and I'm going to take care of that in just a second here. Quick recap of what just happened. We had Pepper and had a nat 1, and then there was the gifted subs to give an advantage, which corrected that. Michael donated a disadvantage, but that's going to be on Rowan's next roll. And then thank you also to Yaz, who has donated to give us 3 crits. So I think that's caught us up to where we are now.
Y'all recognized a bad situation and just started throwing money at it. And you know what? I props to you guys.
No, read a bad situation that's the wrong system, dude.
God. Anyways.
Monster of the week is Saturday.
Anyways, we have 3 crits now, and Rowan has a disadvantage on the next roll.
Oof.
Okay. So, with your advantage, you rolled a 19, right, Rowan?
Yes, correct.
And that was for your skillfulness, correct?
Yes, that's Skillfulness. Wow.
It's running off. Like, that terrible language is running off.
Skillfulness, and that's 19 plus 7, so 26.
26. The other problem is that I asked you also to roll me a stealth. Which means we're gonna put this disadvantage into play for Michael.
Dear God, oh God.
So good luck.
No. No. Okay. I have
Roll
2
those
dice.
2d20.
Pick the lowest one.
Yep.
That's a 9.
I thought you were gonna say
Plus-
nat 1.
No, thank God. I got a 9 and a 20, a nat 20.
Oh, that's
Michael! Michael,
true, you
how
can't-
could you do this to me?
That's true. You can add d6s. Michael brings up an excellent point. If you would like to add a d6 to that,
Okay.
you can.
Let's see where we're at, because I do have to add my
Michael
stuff roll.
kicked you in the back of the knees and then offered you a crutch.
You know, not
Oh.
to. I don't know how to preface this sentence. Anyways, Michael's doing it the best thing he got. So sometimes you just gotta kick these and curb stop bitches,
Oh my
and then give them
goodness.
flowers because you feel bad.
Okay, so 9 plus 8, so that would be 17 already, and I feel like that's appropriate for Pepper, though.
What was it again? Sorry, did you say 18?
17.
17.
Did you use a d6?
No, without using a d6.
Okay.
Would you like to use a d6? I mean, you don't have to. 17 is fine. Yeah, so with your skillfulness, you get a 26 and then a 17 for stuff. So you are able to hop into this vent, no problem. You use the little step up at the bottom. You're able to pull yourself into the vent. Sid and Niklaus are already shimmying their way closer into the vent. They're larger on the inside than they looked from the outside, so there is adequate space to be able to move. And with all of your stealth checks, Sid's initial entrance into the vent made a little bit of noise, but other than that, you guys are pretty good. And then Nick with his crit moving into the vent, you don't make any sound. You're good to go. The vents themselves, let me just look at my little map here. The system kind of follows the outer wall, so you do have to turn inwards and then loop back around kind of deal. But eventually on the other side, if you continue to go further enough into the vents, it does let out on the other side in a similar way to how the vent was set up on the first side. So with the decorative little vent cover and then the step on the bottom. Yeah, so that puts you guys in this area. You're moving towards the back. Vixen and Bambi. I picture that the dogs are a little further out throughout the entrance. Is that what we said, Rowan? They're hanging back a little bit so that they still have eyes on everything?
Yes.
Okay. So then Bambi and Vixen. You guys are within earshot of the very light I was gonna say whispering. You guys are not hearing whispering in your ears, I promise. Whistling. You guys are going crazy. There's ghosts in here.
We already knew that though. That we were
It's
going
not until
crazy.
next season, V. Not until next season.
Right. Damn. Get it through my head. It's next season's ghosts. I don't know. We might encounter some ghosts later on. We don't know that. Yeah. So you guys are hanging in here. Now, like I said before, Vixen is kind of nonchalantly sitting on the edge of a fountain. As she sees the last of you scurry into the vent, there's no more feet sticking out. She stands up. And she starts to move towards the center of the room, more so to the center, towards that hallway down the other side. Bambi, do you go with her? Do you stay back a little bit? What are you up to?
Bambi follows probably like within arm's length of her, not like breathing down her neck, far enough that if she got snatched, that Bambi would be able to respond.
Okay, that's a valid concern. However, when Vixen gets to the center of the room, she whistles back very loudly to the people on the other side of that hallway. One very loud, clear whistle, and then she starts to laugh. And you hear those chairs sliding backwards again, and you hear footsteps start to approach.
Bambi is like a mixture of excited and absolutely terrified, ready to bolt.
Well, you guys are the distraction team. Don't
I
forget.
know. we're distracted.
You gotta distract. You gotta do
I
your
know,
job.
but she's like, like I don't know if you've ever hung out in one spot long enough that a deer just sort of moseys up into your AoE. But it's kind of like that moment where the deer like realizes that there's a human standing in its vicinity, and it's like, oh, that's Bambi right now.
Nobody make any sudden movements.
Nobody move. I dropped my brain.
Yes. That's Bambi right at this moment. Like, she's ready. She is ready for anything.
So as you look down that little hallway, and the camera continues to move back and forth, but now it's casting a green light, you can see that the next room down the hallway is lit. We getting lit in here? It is lit up. There are lights on. But what that means is the darkened hallway kind of casts shadow onto the figures as they come into view in the hall. So they're backlit a little bit more. But it's fine because you know exactly who these two figures are. You can see them. The build is extremely familiar to Bambi. She knows these people. She was able to recognize them from their whistling, their laughing. This comes as no surprise as the two figures move their ways down the hall and emerge into the green light of this camera that's moving back and forth. You see the Blackwood brothers. There's Samson and Xavier. And Xavier has this kind of manic smile plastered to his face. And you know that Samson was the one who was whistling the song for you. So you know that the laughter that you heard had to have come from Xavier. So he's looking at you. He's looking between the two of you. He sees you, Bambi, and then his eyes dart over to Vixen, kind of like this beacon that she is, in bright red and black. And the smile somehow kind of transforms a little bit. And it moves from Vixen to Bambi to Vixen to Bambi. And whereas before it was kind of just this manic smile, this manic grin, now there's something a little bit more to it. Like, he sees the both of you, and there's got to be something really special to get the two of you to stand side by side. That he knows something's on the go.
Damn it.
No, it's not like I should be looking for things. It's these two ladies have not been civil with each other for a very long time.
Probably since the beginning. I
Yeah.
don't think they've ever been civil towards each
No,
other.
probably not. So he's like, these two are being civil for once in their entire lives. It's happening here, right in front of me. I get to be a part of this experience. Whatever shit's gonna happen, I'm gonna be in the middle of it. I can't wait to see what happens. So, it's that sort of hunch. It's not like somebody's sneaking behind my back. It's, what the fuck is happening? I love it. I want in.
I love Xavier.
Yeah. Samson, on the other hand, has a cigarette hanging out of his lips. And he doesn't have the same expression as his brother does. So there's none of that like manic energy. But you can see that he's kind of got the same idea of something's going on here with these two. Like, obviously they've not been a pair for any reason. So he's looking at you with this, he's intrigued to see what happened. If you are to look down, you will also see that Samson is holding on to a gun with his other hand as he like drags on his cigarette with the other hand. And that's the gun that you would have heard cocking in the background. Xavier doesn't seem to have any weapons on him that you can see right now. That's not to say there's not something hiding somewhere. You can roll awareness if you'd like to see if you can find anything on him. But it doesn't look like he has anything like in his hands or anything.
Bambi would be far too distracted with her mental love affair of the brothers to even think about checking for additional weapons.
So as you're looking at Xavier, between Xavier and Samson, Xavier does this thing where he kind of like puffs up. And it's kind of like, I get like a very avian kind of bird metaphor, like feathers, like when the feathers ruffle up, like presenting almost.
Yeah.
As that smile kind of stays plastered to his face, and he kind of puffs up and look at me, and he's the first one, just like before, to take a step towards you guys. And there's like a light bounce in his step as he moves forward. And he stops just a few feet from where Vixen is in front of you. And he waits expectantly, as if something silly is going to come out of one of you. He just waits. Samson is still back by the door. He hasn't moved yet. But you can see him slowly start to raise his gun into the other hand.
Bambi's probably gonna be the silly one, and she twitters. She's like, yay! I'm so glad to see you guys. And she bounces up towards Vixen, doing her fucking damnedest not to be like petty in any way. But I'm sure that there's like this like the tension alone is palpable enough to be like, wait, but she kind of like hops up and she does like this cute like little like excited dance. Like she wants to reach out and hug Xavier, but she's probably too afraid to actually do so.
So she's standing next to Vixen, is she?
Yes.
Yeah. Seeing you kind of do your little wiggle, Xavier steps around the side of Vixen that you are not on, so around the both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Comes up behind you two and wiggles himself into the space between the two of you so that he's like touching the both of you at the same time. Still has this smile plastered on his face. But he kind of like looks over his shoulder back at Vixen, who's at his back, gives her a wink, and then turns his face back to you. And he lowers his face, because he's taller than you, he lowers his face down into your space. And he says, hey, Samson, look what the cat dragged in.
Bambi darts a glance down the hallway towards Samson, and she gives him like a little wave, like she's so excited to see them, but she's kind of timid right now, and so she's just like, hey. I'm gonna lean into my like fangirl of this and just
This is all fan service for you, yeah.
it is.
Like, how can I make this as enjoyable for Bambi and Yaz as I can?
This right here. Doing it.
I figured. So as you kind of give like a little
Squeaky
wave
toy in the middle. I thought that was you. I thought that was you. I'm like, I knew you were excited, but damn. Okay.
Can you hear the dog
Go
playing
off,
with
I
the toy?
suppose. Yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah,
very
she came
light.
back downstairs.
Oh god.
So I see in the chat here that Michael has redeemed a swap character.
Oh no.
Hold on.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say let's hold on to it till next time, just for the fact that I was going to wrap up here in a minute, just because we're at our usual time for stopping. But there is plenty more to do with Vixen and Bambi and the Blackwoods. So I feel like in order to really get the oomph that I know Michael is looking for with these two characters to switch, I want you to get your bang for your buck, and I feel like that's the best time to do it is at the start of next episode when we hop back into it. So let's hold on to that if that's okay with you, Michael, for next time, because I feel like that's gonna it's gonna be a lot more fun.
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Especially if we can get the two of them in the same room as well, the two characters.
Yeah, so okay, sounds good then, Michael. That's what we'll do. We'll wait for the opening of next episode. But yeah, so with you guys here, yeah, perfect.
Freaking here for it.
Yeah. There you go. Excellent. So yeah, you look over to Samson and you kind of like give you a little wiggle, like hello, and you watch as slowly Samson gives you a 1 up, 1 down, very slowly, and then very, very deliberately looks from you and turns his attention to Vixen. And not only his eyes, but he like physically turns his face to do the same to Vixen and like take her in as well. But then he looks back to you. He looks back to you and very slowly on the slide just gives you a wink and like scrunches up his nose a little bit, gives you a smile as well. And then you just, the only thing you feel it more than you hear it, but Xavier starts to laugh, and it's just like that low rumble in his chest as you feel that kind of like vibration as he's still touching you. And that's where we're gonna end for today.
That's not ominous at all. Also, I get hella Big Brother vibes from Samson towards Bambi. Like Bambi's got like this cute like schoolgirl crush on him, and he's just like, "Aw, so cute."
The dog is having fun in the background, apparently. Yeah, no, I absolutely love the Blackwoods with all my heart. And I will be as absolutely ridiculous with them as humanly possible. So
I live for it. I absolutely live for it.
I am making a note on the overlay so we remember next time to swap Pepper and Bambi.
yeah. Yeah, I figure if we wait until next time, it's like a fresh jump into it, and you guys can have fun with it right off the bat. Whereas kind of we're just winding down now, so the energy isn't as high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's gonna be really, really fun to see that next time.
All right. So did I hear that right? We're ending right now?
Yeah, we're gonna call it
Okay.
here. We're at the
Perfect.
usual time for stopping, I think.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a light at the end of the tunnel for Niklaus? Literally.
Literally.
Yes. So the vent system kind of curls around the outside of the wall. Still, I'll have to show you the little map that I drew. But there's a section of wall in between this room and the next through that little hallway. So the vent kind of turns within that little section of wall, and then there's the output vent on the other side. So it's not, you don't have to stay in there for very long. It's just a matter of being quiet in there long enough for Samson and Xavier to come into this room so that you can go out into the other room.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's not very long.
All right then. Well, that was my question. So with that then, we'll do our outros. So go in reverse order from how we started. V, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you next? Anything you'd like to share?
Oh, my favorite part. Well, of course, whenever the Blackwoods show up, I always have much fun with them. They are, as Michael kind of said with the fanfic comment, I feel like this is my turn to take Yaz's characters from Tikva and just do whatever I want with them. So you know what? It might be a little fan servicey for me in that regard. So anytime I get to play around with the Blackwoods and kind of give Bambi a hard time with it, that's always fun for me. I love that. But other than that, just I'm excited to see what happens when you guys go further into this building and try to find your key cards. I'm super excited for that next week. But yeah, as for where you can find me next, what is today? Wednesday. I always ask that every single game. Today is Wednesday. I will be here tomorrow. Yeah, I see, because I'm off work now, I tell the days of the week by what games I'm playing. So it's the only it's the only way I can keep track of my week. But today is Wednesday. I will be here tomorrow for the next episode of Star Wars. That's going ahead tomorrow, right?
Yeah. I'm very excited because you all apparently adopted a Jedi.
Yeah, we sure did, despite Anaka's wishes. So you guys can. Yeah.
I know you're thrilled about that, but it's
Mhm.
interesting.
I thought dealing with one Jedi next season was going to be good enough, but apparently now we have one and we can expect another one, which is fine and dandy for the Dark Force user. She loves it. It's great. She can't wait to do hair and nails with Kieran. Other than that, you can find me on Saturday evening for more Animus, which is our Saturday game. You can also find my artwork online if you'd like to take a look at that. I have an art Twitter, which is there under my name card. It's at Pepero Draws. That's Pepero like the candy. And if you are a fan of anime or original characters, I have some My Hero Academia stuff up there. I also have some original character work as well. So you can check that out there. But that's it for me.
Awesome. Next we've got Yaz. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you, and anything else you'd like to share?
You can. Okay, we'll start with the favorite part. My favorite part is definitely the Blackwoods. Like, my cheeks and my jaw muscles hurt because I smiled so much. Like, it really hurts how much I've smiled. You can find me. I'm hoping to be streaming tomorrow on my own account, Blodelia. Otherwise, you can find me on Friday morning. I will be DMing Beyond the Wall as our troop hodgepodge characters from the real world are trying to make their way through the dream world and attempting to save the world. And
also Matt Damon this time, apparently.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Because we're in space.
Yeah, we're in space. Oh yeah, sci-fi horror. That's what this week's episode is all about. So definitely tune in to some of that weird science fiction. Just briefly, of course. As we begin to tie up some loose ends and little teasers that we got at the beginning of the game. I'm looking forward to it, but you check that out on Friday. If you're interested in my other work, you can always take a look at my links on my website. Also my store and stuff, so you check out stuff there, and it's a good time. Yep, that's it for me.
All right, cool. Rowan, you're up next. Same questions.
Yes, hello, that is me. I am Rowan. I think my favorite part. I do think it was pretty interesting seeing just the Blackwoods start interacting with both of them. Like, I'm very interested to see what happens. Like, is Bambi in trouble? What's exactly the situation here? But also the shenanigans with, like, roll a disadvantage, nope, roll an advantage, nope. That was making me laugh pretty hard, so that was pretty exciting. Where you can find me next, Saturday, we are having Time Travelers, and we have our special guest coming that day, instead of, last week, where we obviously didn't have one because everyone was sick. But yeah, and then so I'm really, really excited about that, and I hope to see you there. Aside from that, you can find me at my website, Rowan with Illustrations. I've got my paint set that has a week left on pre-orders, so please go ahead and check that out. And it's exciting. Exciting. So yes.
Awesome. And yeah, thank you, Michael, for clarifying. So yeah, next week it's going to be swapping V and Yaz. So Yaz will get to GM for 5 minutes while V plays Bambi.
Yasmin, you get to play your boys again.
Hey, you may need to send me a little bit of information just so that I keep it all within what you want to do.
Honestly, I will let you do whatever you want to. If you want to end the story here and just make it good, then I have no problem.
And then the city exploded.
Damn.
Beautiful ending.
That would be terrible. I don't want to do that.
If you do have any specific questions, you can just send me a message or something like that. But
Michael, but smooches.
And then the Blackwood brothers. I don't know where I'm going with that. I feel like I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth really fast.
suddenly
and
the
then-
Blackwoods have become the twins from Oron High School Host Club. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, yes, that would be amazing, actually.
Yes.
Anyways, before we get off on a tangent, I'm Raven, and my favorite part was, it's hard to pick one. I really enjoyed the sneaking around and Pepper and Nick being like quietly snarky with each other, but also actually working together, which is kind of weird. And then all of Bambi's reactions to the Blackwood brothers was just adorable. Where you can find me next, I'll be GMing tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, Elite Bebeskar, which is Mandoa for Clan of Steel. It's our Star Wars campaign. And yeah, it's set shortly after Return of the Jedi in this weird combination of like pre and post Disney canon. So they're at like the Jedi Training Academy on Yavin. Most of
We
the
just
group
got
are
to meet
Mandalorians.
Olars.
Yeah, Lars, which suspiciously looks and sounds a lot like a young Mark Hamill. And yeah, they've adopted a now like ex-Jedi. Just gonna be really, really interesting because two of the party members, characters really don't like Jedi. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for it. That's where you can find me next. And then other things to share or plug. We've got sponsors to talk about, which is Fundamental RPG, which looks like this. It's my tabletop system that came out a couple weeks ago. Super excited about it. You can pick up a physical copy at Amazon now. Just search for Fundamental RPG and it should be the first one to pop up. Not Fundamental RPG Core, which is a previous version that's no longer available, but it's still showing up in searches for some reason. But yeah, this one is the second edition. It's way cooler and better. So you can pick up a physical copy at Amazon or a digital copy at coffee.com/raven/shop. If you do pick up the physical copy, or the digital for that matter, you can pick up free character sheets at the same place. There is an item that is there for free, which is a form-fillable PDF character sheet and a printable character sheet. So that is available there as well. And then Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life, also at coffee.com/raven/shop. That's where you can find that. And it is athletic, casual, and outdoor wear with a tabletop theme. Pretty cool stuff. Aside from that, other things to mention, we are doing casting for next season, which starts in May. There are 3 shows that we're still looking for applications for. Wednesday night, which will be starting later in the season than normal, because this one's Exodus is going to kind of overlap into next season a little bit. But it's going to be a paranormal investigation game, which I'm looking forward to doing. We've got wow, my brain just went completely blank. We've got a surreal horror game on Saturday night. That's going to be a lot of fun that we're looking for people for. And then Necropunk, which is a really cool new system that's on Kickstarter right now. That's going to be really neat. So that's the shows that are available that we're still looking for people for. And that'll be wrapped up casting by the 17th. So be sure to get your applications in there. I don't have the link on hand, but if you go to my Twitter, it's one of my most recent tweets, which is just @TheRaven, like it says below my face. And then finally, if you want to catch up on this show or others that we've had on the channel, you can check out our past episodes at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. Just look for the stream library and go to Blackfeather Guild, and that's where all of our old shows and episodes are. Very cool stuff there too. I think that is everything. Sorry for the long expositional onslaught there. But our raid cry is there a literal light at the end of the tunnel? And we're gonna go raid Zan, who's really awesome. Looks like he's currently on break, but regular on the channel. He just started streaming on his own channel, doing some video games. He's playing Dragon's Quest 11, it looks like. So go say hi, give him a follow if you're not doing so already. I think he's getting pretty close to affiliate, so definitely would be great to help him get the rest of the way there. And then I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.